And now it's time for the Daily Three. That's 3 questions, 3 minutes. Sam, take it away.
You brought it up with Kendall Shell. The Gophers signed Dawson Garcia off the portal. Goes from Marquette to UNC, now to Minnesota, the former Prior Lake Laker. This is one of the biggest gets in Gophers basketball in recent years. He's one of the highest-rated high school players to play for this team since Chris Humphreys. Ron, is this the changing of the winds? Is this the start of big in-state talents staying home in Minnesota?
Well, I mean, I look at it like a storm. And so there's one thing about a storm. There's good that comes from a storm, and there's bad. The good can be, like Kendall talked about, getting these 2023, 2024, 2025, because it's going to be a 2 to 3 year rebuild for Ben Johnson. And so I think with this storm, you can grow some crops, you get the water you needed, you get the energy back around the team. It's like they were in a drought, and now all of a sudden they're getting rained on, because ESPN, eventually when they pick up this story, they're going to talk about Dawson Garcia and his impact as college basketball gets brought up again, as they head towards the NBA draft and other things that are going to come up after the basketball season ends. But the bad from it, when you throw in a guy, you're expecting instant chemistry. You don't have a lot of time to build that. Now, the good thing is he was on the Minnesota AAU circuit, like Jamison Battle. So these guys, these other Minnesota kids coming in from Park Center, Osseo, all this other stuff, these other kids around this area know Dawson from years ago when he was at Prior Lake, one of the best players in the state of Minnesota. So I think it is good, but they have to remember the bad that comes with that. The transfer portal, again, we keep bringing it up. It giveth and it taketh. So something is always you're sacrificing something. But the good thing is I thought that he should have come after Marquette. I thought he should have been here last year after Marquette. I felt like UNC, I just don't know if I didn't think that was the place. I didn't think that was going to be the place for him. It didn't feel right. It felt like just a big move, like Theo John going to Duke. I get it. That was a good move from him, because he went in and became an instant, big man that they needed. But again, I could have saw Theo John and Dawson Garcia coming to Minnesota last year and having one of the best backcourts. You put Theo John, Dawson Garcia with Jamison Battle last year, his team is probably, top 4 in the Big Ten. And I think that's the difference. You definitely are. And then the guard, who transferred probably doesn't leave, Peyton Willis. He probably stays. And so I think that's going to be the key, is how can they get Dawson to come in and now get some of these other AAU kids that have been around him, been near him, looked up to him, that want to be a part of this team. But I think overall it's going to be a good thing just for Gopher morale and getting some of these in-state recruits to stay home.
Yeah, if you would have asked me a couple of years ago what the big man prospect rankings were in Minnesota, I would have gone Chet Holmgren. I would have gone Dawson. I thought Dawson was unbelievable in high school. He's got an outside game, great inside game. He's athletic. He's competitive. I'm a huge fan of Dawson Garcia. The Twins played their 10th game of the season yesterday. It was Patriots Day in Boston, and the Twins came away with an 8-3 win. So they are 4-6 through 10 games. Let's just use 10 games as a benchmark. What have you learned about the Twins through the first 10 games of their season?
Absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. Maybe that Buxton shouldn't have got hurt. Correa, we know he's good. We saw some big plays, guys stealing plays at first base, making some big diving catches and all that stuff. It's weird. Like it's like the multiverse. And I hate to get too Marvel into this for the people that don't understand the multiverse. It's like there's different planets of twins. And then all of a sudden, what planet are we watching today? Is this the one with Doctor Strange and the Avengers? Or is this the one with Tobey Maguire and Venom? Like, what team are we getting? Like, it's so different. When you look at a Red Sox team that everybody assumed the Twins are going to roll over and just get ran over, and they come out and put up an 8-run game. So can they sustain that? I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened before the game. Are the Red Sox just not playing, big because they thought they were playing? Some people play down to their opponent. Did they assume the Timberwolves were a pushover and they walked in? Who knows? I think the first 20 for me is a crapshoot. I don't really put anything in a baseball in those first 20. Everybody else likes to, we're leading the division. We're leading the series. We just swept the song. It doesn't matter. Like, get 50 games in, then let's talk. Then you got a better idea as what the next 100 games are possibly going to look like. Like, let's get to that 50 game mark. What I think we see is a team with potential, a team that needs to build on it, a team that needs to get into the win column and have a winning record. 4-6 at 10 is not good. And if you average that out, if they end up 40-60, now you're searching and you're scrambling. You want to stay in that 50-50 range so that as you start to get some of these wins of teams, not pitching their best pitcher, teams that are taking a day off, you can now get further and further into that win column, and your win percentage is higher than you're losing. But yeah, I don't think I learned anything, to be honest, about the Twins in 10 games. It's like everybody was ready to trade the team away after Byron Buxton gets hurt, and then they go put up 8 runs against the Red Sox. So it's like the wind. That's what these fans are. That's what I feel like the Twins. It's like following the Twins is like the wind. You never know which direction it's going to go.
I would like to see a study on where the Twins rank in players on the injured list over the last few years, because I feel like every year they go in with this kind of potent lineup, and within a week they've already got 2 guys on the DL, or the IL, I guess now. Alex Kirilloff, Byron Buxton's hurt, Sonny Gray is out of the rotation. It's like this every year. You jump out of the gate and suddenly you've got all these players hurt, and now there are players I've never heard of in the lineup. Pro Football Network has reported the Vikings are interested in trading down from the 12th pick. What type of return would you want the Vikings to get? If they did trade down, what do you want to get back in that trade?
Well, you have to get draft capital for one. You have to get value in that second round, I would say. Like, if somebody really wants to jump up to 12, I don't know who's going to be there. If Malik Willis is still up there and somebody wants to go get a quarterback, because some people are saying he should go number 1 or top 3 or 4 overall. But I don't see that happening. When you look at the teams that are up there, the Lions, but I don't think the Lions are willing to do that. Sounds like the Lions are really going to go cornerback. But I feel like the Lions, if they don't have, I don't know if they have all the faith in Jared Goff or not. So if one of those quarterbacks are there that you want, because now people are even saying Baker Mayfield is better than any other quarterback in this draft. Maybe. So do you now, as a coach that needs that, do you go out and try to get Baker Mayfield and get rid of, not the Vikings, but get rid of that first round pick? And so where does that push some of these teams? Are they trying to jump up and trade for a guy that they can then go out and get Baker Mayfield? I don't really understand what the Vikings can get, but I do know, for me, it has to be value. Like, you have to get an additional second round pick for sure. If you're going to give somebody 12, I think they can probably go down to 20. And you can maybe still get a Booth Jr., or you can still because it sounds like, Sauce and Stingley, these guys are going to go higher than we wanted them to in the top 10. And so do you really reach and get a guy at 12 knowing that he'll be there at 20? But the scary thing about that, though, this is the thing. The NFL draft, you never really know. These GMs are playing a game right now. I love the movie Draft Day because it shows you the inside tricks of coaches and GMs eating breakfast, having pancakes. GM calls GM, hey, what are you doing? Man, what do you want? What you want for that 12? And now Kwesi has to then, put down the cereal or put down the pancakes or whatever he eats. If it's avocado toast and bacon, he's got to put it down and then come up with a quick plan. He already has the plan, but he's going to play it off like he's not that serious about getting rid of 12 so that a team reaches. And if a team gives you what you want, you take it. Because again, I think there's a lot of corners in this draft that are going to be in the late first round, second and third round as well. This is one of the deeper cornerback drafts. If receiver is there that you really secretly want and they're just keeping it under wraps, and all of a sudden they go get a receiver, and now we really know there's going to be an offensive laden team. But if they do trade it, you got to get some serious value, even if it's we want your future, second round pick for next year. I could see that happening. Then that gives them 2 second rounds next year, unless they, decide to trade something else. But yeah, you've got to get a second for that 12 and a late first. So, because look at Dalvin Cook, look at Brian O'Neill, there's value in that second round. And I think you can add a potential, day 1 starter, if not, week 2 or 3 starter.
Yeah, I thought it was really disappointing last year that they traded down and still didn't get a second round pick. Second round is a great sweet spot for this team.
It is.
Cook, Kendricks, Cleveland's been a good player, Irv Smith as well. All right, bonus question. The Match from Capital One is back on June 1st. We got the quarterbacks against the quarterbacks. It's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady playing golf against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Who you got, old guys or young guys?
So I've seen Aaron Rodgers play. He can hit the ball. Tom Brady's pretty solid as well. We've seen him play on this. I think the young guns, though, I think they're going to play carefree. Pat Mahomes is going to bomb it. I'm going with the young guys. I do know that's a bad pick. I like the underdogs because the veterans. You think about Tom Brady, and he's been on this set before. Aaron Rodgers. It's not easy. Golfing alone is hard enough. Golfing with the world watching, even though these are top quarterbacks and they do this on a daily and millions watch them play quarterback, it's a little bit different when you're doing something you're used to and you're comfortable with versus hitting the little white golf ball that can go anywhere at any moment. And once you get the yips, we saw Brady had some issues, and then Barkley, and they made jokes, and somehow Brady came out of it and ended up having a decent day with him and when Peyton Manning played. But it's tough if you're not used to that and getting yourself out of that hole. But I like the young guns. I think, Pat Mahomes, his mom said don't call him Pat. Patrick Mahomes. I think, it's going to be fun to watch these guys play. Josh Allen, I'm not even sure what kind of golfer Josh Allen. I'm guessing he's good because he's on this show. We know Pat Mahomes has done the Tahoe deal. We know Aaron Rodgers has done it, Tom Brady. But Josh Allen's the wild card. I'm not really sure. But if they're putting him on there, hopefully it's good. Either it's going to be good golf or good entertainment. Either way, I'm looking forward to watching it.
I've got Brady and Rodgers. I just love the way Rodgers carried his team with DeChambeau last year. I felt like he was the best player in the group. So I'm going to go with the old guys.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I get what you were going with that one. DeChambeau, though, yeah, he overdid it.